I saw the pickup. It kind of reminded me, my uncle's truck.
Works at Hillside? That's what I said. He should be in a tractor trailer. Hey, is my uncle driving today? Didn't show up today. He hadn't heard from him.
On the morning of May 29th, 2019, when first responders arrived at the scene, one of them was left terrified as he realized the abandoned truck engulfed in smoke and flames belonged to his uncle, Philip Bucky Barlow. While investigating Bucky's disappearance, detectives were left shocked when the disturbing secret of an extremely sadistic individual who lived next door started to unfold.
The night that guy came up, I sent a message to Chris. The message said, if anybody comes asking, I was with you guys all night.
Preston County 911.
We're just down here hunting. We came across a box in the trip.
On the morning of May 29th, 2019, at 7:15 a.m., a woman in Preston County, West Virginia, called 911, describing an odd discovery. Responding to the concerning call, law enforcement was immediately dispatched to the scene on Shower Bath Road. When an officer approached the truck, he noticed that the truck was completely filled up with dense smoke, but to his shock, there was nobody inside. It looked as if the truck had malfunctioned and heated up, leading to an accidental fire. However, taking a closer look in and around the scene, the officer found traces of oil inside the truck. These weren't ordinary circumstances. The truck's odd condition made things look more suspicious. Now, detectives needed to find whose truck it was and what sinister secret could this truck be hiding.
It almost seems as if somebody's probably trying to set this one on fire.
The officer immediately requested fire services. Local fire department arrived at the scene in no time. However, they couldn't have known that they were in for a surprise.
Some sort of oil or lubricant or something.
Don't touch anything or don't disturb any more than you have to.
Local fire chief and one of the first responders, Perry Barlow, noticed something odd about the whole situation. The truck looked familiar to him. When he walked closer and took a glance at the license plate, it seemed as if his soul had left his body. Perry knew who the owner of the truck was.
I saw the pickup. It kind of reminded me, my uncle's truck.
The registration was run on it.
Well, it comes back to what, Phil Barlow?
It was identified as Philip Barlow's truck.
That's my uncle. I'm thinking, well, why is my uncle's truck here on Shower Bath Road? Why isn't he here? What's going on?
Works at Hillside? That's what I said. He should be in a tractor trailer.
It turned out that the truck belonged to Perry's 61-year-old uncle named Philip Barlow, affectionately known as Bucky. Perry feared that his uncle could be in danger.
They've dumped oil all over inside of it and tried to set it on fire.
The investigation of this fire, it was pretty cut and dry. When you see motor oil, still residual motor oil laying on the rear seat, it was deliberately attempted to be set on fire. Motor oil is a combustible, but it's not a very fast burning. It never got a good start.
Perry was sure that something wasn't right because it didn't seem likely that Bucky would just set his truck on fire and abandon it in the middle of nowhere.
Kind of an odd place for a fire to start back here, isn't it?
Yeah.
My first thought was that somebody possibly stole the truck.
Perry told the detectives that Bucky should be at work right now. Hoping he'd be there, he called Bucky's workplace, but he got an answer which made him even more worried.
Hey, is my uncle driving today? Didn't show up today. He hadn't heard from him.
Something's wrong because he was very punctual. He was always early.
This was another cause for concern. A 61-year-old man had vanished, leaving behind only his truck in a very wicked situation. The only thing clear at that point was that someone wanted to destroy that truck. Detectives spent hours extensively searching the area where the truck was found, but there were no signs of Bucky anywhere. Once the officers had secured and examined the scene on Shower Bath Road, they headed to Bucky's home, hoping to find any clues that could help them figure out where he was. Bucky lived in Tunnelton, not very far away from where his truck was found. It was only a 10 or 15-minute drive. When detectives arrived at Bucky's address, they didn't find any signs of a disturbance or anything that seemed out of the ordinary in the area. They knocked on the door, but nobody answered. Since the detectives had no cause to break into Bucky's home at that time, they decided to leave. Officers then got in touch with Bucky's friends, who told them about Bucky's girlfriend, Mary Butler. At the time, Mary was living in Indiana, so the detectives could only get in touch with her through a call.
I got a phone call on May 29th that Bucky did show up for work and that they found his truck. I had 50 million things running through my head at that time. Where could he be? What should I do? I knew there was something wrong.
Just the next day, Mary arrived in Preston County to speak with the detectives.
I just wish we could find him alive.
I know, I do too.
This is crazy. I don't want to be without him. He's my world.
Mary told the detectives that the last time she spoke to Bucky was the